Good Sunday morning to you. Look who's with me. Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Good morning, Jan. I'm well. How are you?
Good. Always a pleasure to have you on this channel. And thanks for the gazillion times that you have me on your channel. But right now you're here on the
hmm
Sunday chat. We're going to jump right into it in a second. Hang on.
That's so cute. That's a cute one. I like that.
Did you hear it on your end, Steve?
I did. I heard the whole thing.
Gee, it would have been really nice if I heard it on mine. Anyway, technical problems, nothing but technical problems. Anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. Steve, very soon you're actually going to be hitting your 3-year YouTube anniversary. I have to ask you this question for anyone, Steve, that may be contemplating starting a channel or started a channel and maybe they're just trying to find their way around the channel. Is there perhaps some tip or trick that you would like to share with them?
Just what I do or what I went through to start a channel. Um, if somebody has content or tips or things that they like to do in their everyday doings that might be of help to another person, and that person doesn't mind sharing the information with others, and you got a lineup of information in your head that you don't mind sharing, and you got good content, that's one thing. Share it with the people. That's one. The second thing is be consistent. um, no, I myself am not an everyday uh, uploader. I am not. No, because I like YouTube, but I don't want to get overdrawn into YouTube. So I try to keep everything right around 2 to 3 day a week area. That way I have everything balances out for me. But staying consistent is another one. Stay on course. Um, and this is a really big one. If you're not shy and you build up the gumption once you've been on YouTube a little bit, maybe doing a live segment, maybe once, twice a month, that right there will help build your watch minutes or hours. That I know for a fact because you're reaching a, a large audience, and you can interact in real time right then, right there. They type to you, you talk to them right then and there. So primarily going live when you build up the ability to want to try that, stay consistent and having the content to discuss. That's the big thing. That right there was a helping hand for me.
I really appreciate that, especially about the consistent thing. Because let's say a person, everybody's not going to do a daily upload, okay? Because it's just not feasible for everyone, okay? And if a person, let's say, does 1 or 2 videos a week, but they do it every week, that is consistent. And that's like basically what you do for sure.
hmm
And I think that has helped you along greatly.
Yep.
Now, I know that I know of someone, Steve, that not going to mention names, but somebody that I know that started a channel, and actually that person was doing a really, really great job, but they were just so, I don't know, concerned about hitting that first 100 subs, and it just didn't happen quickly enough for that person.
hmm
And it's sad because the person had a really, really good channel and a lot to offer. But that's one of the tough things, to remain patient even if it just doesn't feel like you're ever going to hit that 100 sub. That's a tough thing, isn't it, Steve?
It can be. I remember when I started out. Well, when I started my YouTube channel in the very beginning, October 19th, when I went and decided to record videos, I already had 6 subscribers already a part of my channel. I already had 6. So to hit 100, all I had to do was get 94. So let's see, I'm trying to think back. October, I would say by February or March, I was well into the low 100 mark by that point of 2021, I believe it was. I'm trying to think back. Yeah, 2020. Yes, it would have been 2021. I think I think by spring or the late part of winter of 2021, I think I was just going into or just approaching the 100 mark.
Yeah, you were probably gaining traction, by then.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you said. Good words of encouragement, Steve. I
Mhm.
appreciate that. And anybody contemplating it, we have to be honest, let you know things don't happen overnight. But
No.
with that consistency that Steve just mentioned and stuff of that nature, and have your channel be your channel. No two channels should be identical.
Oh no.
That's no, not at all. Not at
Mm-mm.
all. Steve, I want to completely switch gears. Okay, we are actually in real time, Steve and I, recording this show on August 12th, which is Saturday, and you're hearing this show on a Sunday the next day. But according to what I heard, today is International Vinyl Record Album Day.
Oh,
Now, yeah, I know, right?
okay.
Isn't that cool? So, Steve, I have to ask you this question because I am curious to know how young were you when you first started to recognize music and perhaps enjoy it? And do you have any like specific recollection of anything in that nature?
Um, well, when I was in my playpen, um, you guys already know about my condition, and my mom always did something uh, for a reason, which I'm the same way. Unless I have a reason, something will happen or what I'm going to do or follow through or whatever. But in her case, I think she was trying to find a subliminal message. So possibly, and I figured that out later on in time. It was nothing that came to me right away. But my mom used to play the Tommy album by The Who, the one that come out in '69 with the blue on the front with the diamond shape all the way across that one. And then in the mid '70s, you had the rock opera Tommy that had Tina Turner as the Acid Queen, and you had Elton John as the Pinball Wizard. So she used to alternate those two, and that's what I grew up listening to when I was in my playpen. I was probably about a year old at that point or so. And I think because the lyrics said, see me, feel me, touch me, heal me, especially that right there, I'm thinking that was part of my mom was trying to find a little bit of a subliminal message because she always tried to find a message somewhere. And I do know that music was partially one of them, which keep in mind too, that right there in turn has also made it that The Who is my favorite rock band. Even to this day, The
Wow.
Who is my number one favorite rock band of all time. I'll tell you that hands down. But but my mom is deceased now. But here's the funny thing: I have a little quick story, and then I'll continue on. Is I still there are I will wake up with music playing in my head, and sometimes I listen to the song and I'll listen for the lyrics in my head. Sometimes I think it's my mom's way of trying to communicate with me because I think back to the time of the Who when I was about a year old or maybe even a little less. So I do look at whenever I get a song playing in my head, I do look at it as my mom's way of trying to communicate with me. I really do. It might seem a little odd to some people. I
No.
don't look at it that way, but um but yeah, that was my introduction to music way back when. Now, if anybody ever, I don't know if you wanted to ask me, what was my first record I ever bought. I mean, I could share that.
Sure, sure. What was that?
Well, remember, I'm a child of the '80s, so I remember the real MTV when they showed music videos. You had Martha
Yes.
Quinn and all, Nina Blackwood and all of them were on there. Well, I was such a big fan of Michael Jackson Thriller. For some reason, I just love that song. Maybe it had to do with Vincent Price singing his portion in the. So I bought the 12 inch. I got the 12-inch of that record where you have like two or three,
Right.
one song done up a certain way, and you might have one different song. So I bought the 12-inch. That was my first record I ever bought. Then, not long after that, I was a big fan of that song "Footloose" by Kenny Loggins. I had just went and seen the movie, so that was my next album that I got. That was that. That's a. I'm a soundtrack person anyway. When it comes to albums, for more than anything, I love my soundtracks because each song is different. So then I bought um, the Footloose soundtrack. But I will say this, coming a couple of steps back, when I got that Thriller 12-inch, I also bought a couple of 45s as well. I got Working Day and Night by Michael Jackson off the Wall album. And Off the Wall will always be my favorite Michael Jackson album. I don't care rain, shine. I just love that one from '79. And I also bought John Cougar Mellencamp, Crumbling Down. So that was the first music that I myself, as a child, bought. Was that right there? Just to share with all of you.
It's amazing. It's amazing how music connects people, the memories it gives. Sometimes just listening to a song, it just take us back like 100 years back, while being exaggerative, but a few years back in time, and the memories that go. I'm so glad that you have that connection, and when you were
Yeah.
young with that. That's wonderful. Steve, is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
One little quick thing I do now, when I was probably going on 6 years old, maybe. Yeah, because I'm trying. There was another movie that come out about 1980, and Roger Daltrey, the lead singer of the Who, was in it. I don't know if any of you guys remember it. It took place over in England. It's a movie called McVicar, MCVICAR. So I had went and seen the movie as a child. I saw a lot of movies when I was a kid at the theater. It was a better time too. So my mom and dad, my dad being in the military, one day my mom and I were out at the exchange on base, and I ran across the McVicker soundtrack on cassette tape. Again, the Who, of course, did the soundtrack, and I had my mom get me the tape. So if you really, really, really think about now that what I said about the Thriller and the 45s, that was my doing. But if you talk about music that somebody purchased for me, it would have to be that McVicker cassette tape when I was a little
Wow.
boy. And I
Amazing.
still love that album. I don't know why. It's a very unique album. It really is. But there's good songs on it. Um, in fact, I have a copy of it on vinyl as we speak. I have it in storage. I've got a copy of it. So,
Wow.
and that's pretty much it. But I had forgot that today was Vinyl Record Day. I had forgot.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
And vinyl, the sound on vinyl cannot, be beat.
No.
It's
No.
just, yeah, wonderful. Well, Steve, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
You're welcome.
And it's nice to get a different perspective on different subjects once in a
Oh yeah.
while, taking a break today from other stuff that we normally talk about all the time. So we took a little
Yeah.
bit of a break from that. And please, if you are starting off on this platform, continue whatever Steve mentioned earlier. He gave wise tips there,
Hmm.
and just be happy about it, because you get to create. Because if you're a creative person, oh my gosh, what a great outlet, in my opinion, anyway. All right, Steve, I'm going to hope that I could close off this show without a hitch. Everybody have an amazing, fantastic day. Thank you again, Steve. Have a great day, everybody. Take good care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.